Well, hello, good people of the YouTubes. Mountbatten here. And today, do you need credits? Do you need a lot of them? And do you need them now? Well, I can't give you a loan, but I can direct you to the most recently released credit farming mode, which is Pinata Hunt. Now, I know if you're not a fan of super arcadey stuff, and you saw this in the update articles and such, you thought, oh my god, this looks ridiculous. It does look ridiculous. It was a bit of a trip. I felt like I was on LSD, even though I've never taken LSD in my life. But you know what it's very good for? Brawling and making money with brawling ships. This mode is another mode that's designed to encourage that mid to close range gameplay, and they're also using it to test out team consumables, essentially team support consumables, I should say. And those are also a lot of fun too, getting to play around with those and the ideas that they're working with here. Some really interesting stuff. So we're going to be talking about that today. If you do find this video informational, entertaining, or just downright enjoy it, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe while you're down there. Helps out, of course, in the YouTube side of things. So what is Pinata Hunt? Well, it is the April Fool's Day event for this year. If you don't know, in previous years, board gaming typically has some type of special April Fool's Day event. It's just supposed to be a lot of fun and just goofiness, but they also test out new mechanics in these modes. For example, last year's was the bathtub battles with the rubber duckies, and in that event, they were testing out mines, which are of course now a thing with support CVs, or are going to be a thing with support CVs, and they're back in this mode as well as one of the team consumables that you can equip, or support consumables. I think that's what they're properly calling them. But anyway, what this mode is testing out is potentially, of course, the support consumables and a new game mode. What happens in this mode is that a Pinata ship spawns. That Pinata ship is either a Richthofen, an Essex, or a Schlieffen from what I've seen so far, and they follow a set route on the map, very much like convoys or airship escort, and both teams are attacking the same ship. Once this ship goes down, it then spawns in a key area like, what's it called? Arms race mode that is shrinking, so you have to rush in there and capture that key area. Once you capture that key area, the points that you gain are absolutely absurd. If you heard me talk about Arms Race before, I'll talk about how it's insane that Arms Race gives you 10 points a tick, which is insane. In the Pinata Hunt mode, this key area rewards you with 25 points a tick. So we're talking about some insane points income. And of course that encourages both teams to just dive for the cap as soon as it becomes available, because you know if that team gets it and you can't get there within a minute or two, well, you've done lost the battle. So because of that, it of course encourages teams to stay near the Pinata ship. That way when it does go down, you are right there ready to pounce on top of the cap. Now, the Pinata ship also has an absurd amount of HP. We're talking about 380-ish thousand HP. And the way it works is that it's divided into quarters. If you notice on the top of the screen, you'll see the Pinata logo with the circle going around it, and that circle is divided into 4 quarters. So when 1/4 of the ship's HP is gone, a shield pops up. If you play the Halloween event, this is the invulnerability shield that Rasputin can pop up, and he can no longer be damaged for a set amount of time. The shield goes down, then you can damage him again. And when each of these quarters of HP gets deleted, it will drop a consumable that you can pick up that gives you an additional charge of your support consumable. These support consumables can range from a number of things. You can buy new ones in the armory for credits. The battleships get a universal heal that will regen 1% of your ship's HP for 7 seconds across your entire team. There is a maneuverability one that gives you a huge buff to your maneuverability. I was flying at 41 knots in Pomeran at one point because of that. There's also like a smoke screen and airstrike, so forth and so on. There's quite a number of them. It's pretty interesting what they are testing out, I must say. So what all of this does is create the perfect storm for brawling ships. Currently in this mode, you can take Tier 8 and Tier 9 ships into battle, including premium ships. So if you have a premium ship like the Pommern that is hyper engineered to brawl, good lord, can you put in some work in this mode. And keep in mind too that you have this 380,000 HP, literal HP pinata to farm with your brawling secondary ship, or your brawling ship. Doesn't necessarily have to be a secondary ship, but you have that ship to farm with your ship, and you still have the other enemy ships that are all scooting around and about and are probably focusing on farming down the pinata ship, leaving them distracted for you to rob them of their HP. And plus, since you have these support consumables that can do things like, well, basically give the enemy ships more HP to farm, like with the universal heal, you can, of course, have a lot more HP to farm during this mode, and it's just a great environment for brawlers as well. So, how good is the credit income, Sealord? I can hear you asking that already. Well, with my Pommern, with the bonuses I was running on it, I was usually, in most cases, getting about 200-ish thousand damage and getting well north of 1,000,000 credits per battle, which is pretty darn good per battle. Per victory, I should say. Obviously, if you lose, you're not going to get near as many credits. You still get a decent amount because, you're probably doing just well in this game mode. But, yeah, about 1,000,000 plus credits in the Pommern. Also took the Car the 14th out. She was also pretty darn good at this mode with her torpedoes and her secondaries, and she was also doing about 1,000,000 plus on a win. So if you've got the blue bonuses, definitely it's time to take your Pommern out, strap those blue bonuses on, and get into this mode and be making some credits. Now, of course, things you want to do is obviously murder the DDs. That will give you the best credit income, because the way that this game rewards you for doing damage is that it takes the damage you did to the ship and then compares it to the ship's overall HP. So if you are in a Pommern, or any other secondary ship, like even a Michelangelo, of course, and you murder a DD, murdering a DD from full health to nothing is the same as if you had done that to a Grosser Kerr first. So you get that same amount of of credit income doing that and farming down like a GK. Now, it does reward you for just the sheer amount of damage that you did overall as well, and that's where the Pinata ship comes in, because you can farm some of that thing's absurd HP pool and get that to stack on top of, you already just being a secondary or a brawling monster in this game mode. So that is what really is going to boost your credit income. And of course, too, if you do things like pick up the charges that the Pinata ship drops, that gives you a nice bit of earnings as well. And since the Pinata ship is usually a carrier, guess what? You get to shoot down planes. That gives you a nice little buff to your income as well. Believe it or not, planes are a pretty good source of economic income, especially when you have a bot CV that's not overly good at dodging the flat clouds. Even in like the Pommern, I was doing pretty decent with the amount of planes I was shooting down, so that gives you a nice little buff to your income too. And you know what's the best thing above all else? It's fun. It's a fun mode. It's a nice mix of just outlandish arcadey nonsense and just absolutely hellish brawling confusion, because so many times during this mode, we played it pretty much the entire, no, not pretty much, the entire stream last night. It's just such a trip, because most players, and we were talking about this in stream too, most players, of course, hate CVs, and two of the most popular picks, it seems to be, for this mode for the Pinata ship are the Essex and the Richthofen. So everyone has like CV bloodlust, so everyone on both sides are just dogpiling the CV, which again leads to you being able to see that, hey, this guy's showing you broadside, let me remove half of his HP right now, right? So that, of course, helps your income, obviously. But yeah, it's just a fun mode. It's very hectic. Again, God, I don't even know how many secondaries my secondary gun has fired last night when I was playing this mode. It was several dozen thousand probably. Another thing too is that when the CV or the Schlieffen, or the Pinata ship I should say, pops its shield up, your secondaries still keep firing at them, so you keep your secondary accuracy up even though you can't damage the ship. So that means you can just keep your secondaries on the Pinata ship, and when you want to switch it to a player, you still have your accuracy built up. So even though you're not doing anything to the Pinata ship, I would still keep my secondaries shooting on them. That way, their accuracy is built up. Then you can go ahead and swap on over to another player ship and get your damage from that. But yeah, it's a fun mode. It's made me quite a bit of credits. I think we made like... I started the night out with 194 million credits, and in the 3-hour live stream, I think I finished with like 213 million credits. And keep in mind too, I run full signal flags on my ships, so that's 500,000 credits gone right there, just out of the gate. So yeah, some serious cashola was made last night playing this mode. So is it as good as old Asymmetric Battle for credit farming? Not quite as good, but it's fun if you enjoy brawling and you got like a Palmer, a Michelangelo, a Georgia, Massachusetts. You're gonna do well in this mode. So if you need credits and you got a brawling premium ship, go for it. And keep in mind that Palmer, which is probably the best thing for this mode, is a coal ship, which is free. So free ship, free easy credits, fun times all around. So let me know what you guys think about the Pinata Hunt mode. If you've been enjoying it, if you've been playing it, let me know down below. Hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday and a wonderful weekend. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.